Hi guys, welcome to another session. And as we begin this mental health, mental health uh, awareness summit, we are welcoming you all to join us on different aspects, on different times, as we will be discussing different things related to mental health disorders, mental health issues, and how to deal with our mental health on a day-to-day basis. We thank you because you are so patient with us. We have taken like few minutes trying to figure out everything, but you are here. I am Velin Migoe Otieno Ubiro, and I have my counterparts who are here. We are pleased to have them on board. They are going to teach us today about different things that maybe we know, maybe we are trying to find out, and maybe we are dealing with currently in our personal lives. This is a platform that is powered by Laford Teletherapy Counselors Network, and we are so glad to have you people on board to help us listen and learn. As you know, our slogan is learn and relearn on a daily basis. So I'll give them one at a time to talk to us and maybe help us understand different things. So as we take off with the introduction, uh, we can begin with Juliet. Kindly take it away.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity and thank you for inviting me to this platform to talk about mental health. I don't take it for granted. I appreciate the opportunity that you've granted to me. My name is Juliet Joy Apio. I'm the Executive Director of Ideation Jungle. At Ideation Jungle, we basically do mental health awareness and healing. We do it via Zoom every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Then we also do family business orientation, where basically training your child to be involved in your business. Just in case you have a family business and you want your children to be involved in the family business, we help you with orienting the child into the business. Then we also help you to start a business as a family. So this one we basically do it during the school holidays, we do it during the vacations, weekends, and also on appointments. I also work at Macquarie University Business School. I'm a lecturer in the Department of Projects and Small Business Management. I teach business startup, I teach business plan, and I teach project management. I'm happy to have you on the call.
Kindly, Judy, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Villain and my colleague Juliet. Thank you all who are logged in and joining us in this session. My name is Judith Akite. I am from Uganda. Since we are from different countries, I think that's also important. I'm from Uganda and I'm a founder Moms Cover, where we do fertility coaching, personal growth trainings, and mental health awareness and counseling. Yes, I'm very passionate about mental health because of my lived experience, and I am so grateful for this opportunity. I don't take it for granted. So I'm excited to be part of this amazing platform and share the insights that I have and the stories that I have regarding mental health. Thank you.
So I think we are done with the introduction, and we'll just ask brief questions so that we can have a conversation. And we can start with you, Judy. What has really made you be passionate about mental health, and what really triggers you when you hear about mental health and how did you get into mental health. So I'll just give you ample time to explain, and maybe from then we will know how to go forward with it.
Okay, thank you so much, Vilen, for that wonderful question. How did I develop a passion for mental health? I did develop a passion for mental health because of my own struggles with mental health. For a very long time, I struggled with low self esteem, and it was not that I could not fight it, but for some reason, because of the experiences I had had around me, like I had shared in the earlier episodes, of being a foster child and being going through phases of life, having to be a young parent of sorts, because you're a firstborn and you have to take care of your siblings and pay their school fees dues and all that to support the parents. Those experiences really took a toll on me, and the most recent one being the infertility journey, like I shared earlier, and my work experience vis-a-vis that mental health, the mental health crisis and the reproductive health crisis. Now, when I got my success story and I went for maternity leave, I had postpartum depression. Now, that was the peak of it all. I really struggled a lot, a lot. Like, you would be among people, but you feel like you're alone. No one is understanding you, no one is supporting you the way you expect to be supported. And I had to be very intentional about the steps that I take to get out of that, because you would often break out and just cry out of the blue, and you're looking at this child crying, you're helpless, you do not know what to do next, you're a first time mom, and the information we have on social media and from the people that have been there before is the rosy part of the pregnancy, and nobody shares these deep experiences about what you should expect, the not so good experiences. So when I experienced that, I really struggled to find my footing. But I'm glad that I have a number of friends that really used to check out on me, and one of them recommended a therapist. And when I saw the therapist, we had about 3 weeks session, and I had to unpack everything I had bottled up for the 32 years when I went for the therapy. So it was really enlightening. And I was like, how come I did not know this? Like, if I'd known this earlier, probably I would be in a much better space. But that gave me the drive to go and find out more about mental health. And then I did a course in mental health counseling, just for my own good, to understand why I felt the way I felt and how I can be a better person. And eventually, when I did offer the same lessons that I'd learned from the therapy and from the mental health course, it really worked even for the people that I shared with. And so I just felt like it's the right time for me to hop into mental health and create awareness and support everyone that needs the mental health support. Thank you. I don't know if I've answered all the questions. You can guide.
It's okay. If we feel a bit discontented, uh, I don't think we are, because we are just taking time to educate others about our experiences. And it's always nice, Judy. You have always been impactful. You have always given us insights about different things. And we are grateful because you have always come out and told us different episodes of your life, which is very courageous, and we thank you for that. Because if we don't talk, then learning is quite difficult, and we don't have examples, or we don't learn or we don't have other people's experiences to learn from. So, Juliet, I'd like you just to tell us what led you into the mental health space. Why are you passionate about it? And what are you doing to change the, what are you doing to help and to change how people see and talk about mental health? What led you, one, and how did you get yourself into it? And what are you trying to do different from how it's done? Or how are you going to make sure you impact others?
Okay, thank you for the questions. Oh, looking back to my work experience, mental health does not really connect with the work that I do. Are you able to hear me? I can't hear you.
Sorry, you froze for some minutes and we were not able to hear, so you can just start again.
Okay, I was saying that mental health with my work does not really connect because I basically teach project management, business plan, business startups. So they don't connect really. My mental health awareness journey began with my own personal experience. Um, I'm a proud survivor of mental health illness. It's something that I'm very proud of. After having suffered some illness from 5 years ago, I had some nasty health issues that just happened out of the blue, whereby I woke up and my body was paralyzed. Then the experiences of going through different doctors, um, then going to very different hospitals, then at some point also making sure that I'm also getting also treatment from different countries. Then the whole frustration of repeating tests because the tests are also very, very expensive. Then that bit of you're not even healing, you're not getting okay. Then one thing is leading to the other. Then you're having different parts of your body also paining. Then I'm also at the verge of losing my job because I'm not working. So all that led me into mental health illness, which I was in for about 3 years. Then also at some point, the best medical doctor was trying, who had actually gotten a solution to my problem, was actually giving me medication. Actually, I started having a medication journey with him. He unfortunately died, so I really did not have any hope of ever getting better. So I take my health as a miracle because I cannot tell you that there's a particular medicine that I took and was okay. But I just thank God for the healing. I thank God for being with me for all the 3 years while I was so down. So the mental health illness started that particular time where I have to report to work. Then you find that you've not been in that space of people for about 3 years. So they've moved on. The people with whom you joined with have been promoted and you're in a lower rank. Then you have some new colleagues, or then also people that you used to work with no longer want to work with you anymore because, okay, I don't blame them because they were able to find people who can work with them better. So I was here. I was like, I was in another COVID-19 pandemic. Like you come back And the world has moved on. There are these technologies in place, and you have no idea of how you have to operate that technology. So, like to me, like when I came back, people, because previously we are basically teaching physically. So when I came back to teach, everything had shifted online. I had no idea of how to navigate through this online system. Then someone is not even like giving you proper directions, like just do this, do you connect you like and you have so many things to learn, how also to turn the content that you have into the are online and having to interact with students online. It was all a very bad experience for me altogether. Then also like by the time I rejoined, our course units had really changed. So we had very new course units, so new content. So I was struggling teaching new content with colleagues who had mastered this art for 3 years. So I was like, now, why am I even in this teaching space? At some point, I even attempted to resign because I felt like I'm not useful anymore. I felt I'm not useful because, like, even the examples that I was giving are examples of 5 years ago. People, like, after COVID, how everything like changed, that some businesses you can no longer talk about because maybe they closed up, they became bankrupt. So they're not the in thing. And during that period of COVID-19, there are so many businesses that thrived. Others, we had also very new startups. So here I was teaching students who know more than me. So I was like, what is this? But I did not let that to deter me. I was like, I was kind to myself, kind to myself. I did not blame myself for anything. I was like, it is not something that I'd wished for myself. It was sickness, and unfortunately, it happened to me. Sickness can happen to anyone. So I took a step back. I think at that point, I requested for a leave for about 1 month. So in this 1 month, I just basically put myself together. I had to read so many materials, I had to consult a lot, I had to be in these groups of different individuals to help support me to like up the game and learn these new technologies, learn these new course units. Then I also involved myself into research with a team of people. So every time somebody had a research gig like data collection, I'd involve myself so that I can get new business knowledge. So while everybody else was collecting information from these businesses, me, I worked extra harder because I had much more to learn. So I remember at a point where I interviewed about 70 people in a day. Never in my life have I ever interviewed 70 people. I interviewed 70 people in a day, like finish, and you know how you're so super at work and everybody else is trying to give you these opportunities. So the learning took place. After a month that I'd now resumed work, I was now up there. I was now a superstar. I was now teaching people that technology they knew before, because there are some aspects of that technology they did not know. So, like, I became super. So I kept on learning and improving myself. I did not let the mental health like deter me. Then at some point after like I'd now fully incorporated into my job, I had some relapses, then had very many suicidal attempts. I had, I think about the vivid one, I remember about seven, but I think there are actually more than seven. These were not just having suicidal ideas, it was actually, I attempted to take my life for 7 different times. But I just thank God, and the circumstances are, are very different. Some point I overdosed, some point like I involved myself in an accident, some point I burnt myself, at some point I attempted to jump off like a storage building. Everything is just nasty. But I thank God that I'm here and I'm talking about mental health because I completely healed from it. So I formed this organization, Ideation Jungle, where I basically share my ideas of how I was able to overcome my suicidal attempts and finding hope and regaining sanity. So I've been doing this every Tuesday at 8 p.m. via Zoom. So I basically talk about my life experiences, and the thing that keeps me going is the fact that people, like, you have no idea of what someone is passing through, and after the session, people are calling in, giving me their testimonies of how the sessions have impacted their lives. So I was like, okay, maybe this is something like I can keep on doing. So for me, the fact that I'm able to impact someone's life and able to at least prevent a soul from committing suicide, it makes me happy. Because many times someone tells me like, "Oh, Julie, when you're just sharing about your story about how you attempted to commit suicide, then in the end you did not do it. You have no idea how I was feeling at that moment. That moment that you're just sharing your story, I was actually planning to commit suicide. And I'm glad, like, from your story, I know that I have much more to live for. I have a life to fight for. I have to be intentional with my life. So this bit of it just makes me happy. Then I've also interacted with people who are not able to sleep at all throughout the night. So at least I've got some good testimonies. I have a colleague who was struggling with sleep, and I'm glad that nowadays, like, her sleep partner, like, she sleeps very well in the night. I have another one who also struggling with sleeping in the night, and they're doing quite well. So I just want to call out everybody out there, if you ever suffered from a mental health illness and somehow you survived it. It's nice for you to share your story. You just don't know how much you're going to impact people. For me, the only regret that I have is being there for so long and also not having shared my story earlier enough. Because along the way, there's some colleagues of mine that committed suicide, and I was like, oh, if I'd shared my story with them, maybe they would have survived. Maybe they would have learned something from me. Maybe they would not have done it. So I just keep on sharing my story and to support the communities, to support all of us. You know, COVID happened. So this is a time that we are experiencing the effect. Then also the fact that many people nowadays are raised by single mothers. So they're experiencing a lot of mental health. The children are experiencing a lot of mental health challenges, especially not having grown up with both parents. So it takes a toll on them. Then sometimes there's this blame game. Oh, I wish my dad would like had provided for us. I would not have been living a kind of life that I'm living. I've had some, like, children of my friends like complaining and saying, "Oh, if daddy was here, I would be eating chicken. If daddy was here, I would be going for holidays. If daddy was here, I would be for this." So, like, you find that everything is just a mess. Then the fact that also the economy is so hard. So as a child, you're also forced to work so early in your life. So you are having work, you're experiencing work challenges quite very early in your life. So it takes a toll on yourself, especially if you have colleagues and friends that just sit back there and their parents are just providing everything for them. And you're rethinking, what happened to me? People are talking about these holidays and you are struggling with putting food on the table. Sometimes also people experience their mental health challenges because of their finances. Okay, maybe someone is struggling to walk through the career path. Maybe a supervisor and you want to be a manager, or you want to upgrade from a grade 4 teacher to, I don't know, the different grades in different countries, maybe grade 5 teacher, and this boss is just not signing your promotion. Your promotion papers, and you're just being frustrated over and over again. The criteria is not being followed. I want to tell you that maybe you're better off, but the person who is worse off is like this person who has been like up there. Then all of a sudden you just fall, boom. Imagine you have been the ED, executive director, you're directing everybody around you. Then it so happens that unfortunately your junior is the one who is now replacing you, and the junior is actually ensuring that they're changing everything in the organization. That you feel so bad. And you know those positions comes with a lot of benefits, come with health insurance, fancy cards, you have the fuel cards. Your children, you can just call a driver of your own organization. Take my child to school. My child has fallen sick. Take them to hospital. You're like commanding everybody around. Your child has a challenge, and here, Julie is a teacher. You're just commanding Julie, go and coach my child, and Julie has will not refuse because she wants favor from you. So she will just go do it, and you're asking her about the payment, and Julie is just saying, "No, boss, it is okay. I voluntarily, but it's not no. Like I need money, but I cannot tell you literally that I need money. So I'm just letting it slide, just in case at that point, particular point, I need favors. Then, when you're up there, also maybe you're head of department, maybe you're a dean of a faculty, maybe you're a manager in the bank. Even if you lose someone, maybe you lose a parent, a child, you have these privileges. Everybody is coming to bury for you because they'll just say, our manager lost a child, our director lost a child. So they will come, even the ones that don't like you, they will come. They'll come and mourn for you for a week. They will keep on checking on you because you are their boss. But the moment you lose that position, my friend, it will not even take hours. People shift goalposts to where power is, and that is where real depression is. So depression happens so much at people at the top. I worry so much about them because of the life that I've been exposed to. So here you find that, especially like okay, like you've retired or you've lost your job for some reason, they'll just keep on calling you for about 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, no one will even check on you. They will know the road that takes to your place, but no one will even pass by. You lose someone, and that's where you will know that the other people that came when I lost somebody were not genuine. They have just shifted the goalpost. They have someone new in the organization, so they're paying allegiance to someone different. So you have all these ideas of fake friends, fake workmates, fake colleagues, because like you are calling them fake because at one point they were actually nice to you. And at this point you're not understanding why are they not nice. Then we have also this bit of the relationships in this century. Oh, especially after 2020. Oh, the men that used to take you to a restaurant and pay all the bills, they'll now take you to a restaurant. Imagine that the ones who have initiated that debt, you had nothing to do with it. They've even the ones who have even suggested the restaurant, and it's so fancy, Serena Hotel, and they're telling you, come, we have a date. So in your mind, you're going to have girly treatment, girl feel good treatment. So you go to this restaurant, and after eating, he's telling you, you're seeing him with his phone, actually in a calculator, trying to split the bill, and telling you to pay your share, and you had no idea exactly of how much money you're going to pay. So you end up getting frustrated. Or sometimes I've seen some of my friends, you get into this kind of relationship and you're really looking forward to having a child with this person. Then on the very first time you tell that person that you're pregnant, you experience I don't know how to call that trauma at a very high rate. And yet before someone was actually telling you that, oh, I just wish I can have a child with you. If I can have a child with you, like you would have given me heaven on earth, they have given you all these promises. Oh, I'll take you to my mother. Oh, I'll marry you. Girl, get pregnant and tell the man that you know what, I'm now pregnant. Hey. You experience trauma that people have experienced in 2 years, when you experience it in one day. You want to kill yourself, you want to vomit, you want to to abort that kid, and those kids, somehow they cannot get aborted. You take drugs, and the kid will just remain there until you give birth. Then you have this responsibility of taking care of that child, and the man is not anywhere in your life at all, at all. You tell the man about the school fees, you try to report him to police, you try to report him to your parents. What? The more you do it, the man is just a hardliner. So you give up, and now you become here a single parent. But that was not what you had actually wanted. That's not what you had actually anticipated. So it takes a toll on you, because now you not love that child properly, and also the demands from that child will just annoy you, and you begin telling him or her that your father should have given you this, but your father is there taking care of women. Your father is there, and you can even lure the child to a restaurant where the man is. You see, your father is there buying for women food, and yet he cannot pay for your fees. So as a child, you feel betrayed. You feel as if, oh, this is a father figure that should have been like taking care of me, is not taking care of me. So that trauma will shift from your mother to now the child. Then most likely you also transfer it to another person, maybe also your child. So I end up having these generational traumas that that are also very hard or difficult to break. Then sometimes we have a lot of divorces. You know, property has become property. Man or woman, they want property. You built your small house. People will wake up one morning. I don't know why these days the weddings that they do as part does not work. So a few years down the road, people separate ways. Then they're struggling on properties. The like court every now and then they're in court. Then it affects you as a child. So you end up having this kind of traumas. So you find that this mental health illness is not only affecting people who are old, it is affecting people as old as 5 years, as old as 6 years, as old as 7 years. It's worse for people who have retired. You have no money, you've been living this fancy life and you cannot afford it. Then people are losing jobs for different reasons. Sometimes the organization has been restructured, so they need a few people in the organization. So unfortunately, you are the sacrificial lamb for the organization. Then also getting jobs nowadays is very difficult. In my country, Uganda, you will attend interviews and interviews. Then by the time they're calling you for the interviews, they've already decided on who is going to take that position. So the interviewing process is just for formality. So you can suffer unemployment for about 7 years. So we end up becoming a push entrepreneur. You're selling pancakes or chapati on the roadside, and yet you are a manager somewhere. If people like those those subordinates of yours, like if they meet you, like you want to carry your chapati and just basically run, because they cannot understand how a manager shifted from the AC office to now the hot sunshine. You're there frying pancakes or what. So mental health illness is affecting everybody. Only that the degree of madness is different. It is not only those people that you see on the road naked that are mad. Even those people in the offices are mad, highly mad. Try to trigger them and tap a wrong button. You see that madness. Someone will slap you for for just saying good morning. How was your night? Then somebody will slap you and tell you, "Do you know what I had to struggle with in that night?" And end up beating you. So madness is in every community, whether it's the office, whether it's in the hospital. I've also seen some doctors who are not mentally also okay. You go to a doctor, and because your name is similar to some patient that have had a very nice experience with, they tell you, "Ah, I already saw you, you go," and you're like, I've never seen in my life. I've just being recommended to you. So I request for your sample. That someone will chase you, even without taking a blood sample, not even checking it, no, not even a diagnosis. So mental health illness is affecting everybody, only that people are just because of fear of stigma, you're fearing like how, okay, you'll be like, okay, if I share my story, how will people use it? Or how will people perceive me? I've been up there, so people will be thinking this way about me. So you find that many people are just keeping quiet, and the more you keep quiet, now you get into depression because you're isolating yourself. You're sitting on the couch for long hours doing nothing. You're either eating a lot or you're not eating at all. Have you seen those people at the dinings and they're warning you that you better get your food right now? If you don't get your food, you're not going to eat, because they've discovered that there's one particular person who eats like a lot. Eating a lot is not normal. It is also a sign of depression. Then there's some people who just don't want to eat for some reason. Maybe they're taking only 2 spoons of food or one fork. So you see, mental health like affects people differently, and others also become worse and they begin having those suicidal attempts. Then some unfortunately succeed and they end up dying. Then on those barriers you begin saying, but what made this person kill himself? What made this person like kill her? Then somehow everybody thinks it's a relationship, maybe a failed marriage, but it is just more than that. Sometimes it's sickness, sometimes someone is going through infertility, sometimes it's finances. It's never about that woman in the house. It is sometimes never about that man she has in the house. Maybe even the relationship was okay, but somebody had different reasons. So I'm thinking that mental health awareness is very good for everybody, so that people, as you talk about your story, people are able to identify and see whether they have mental health illness. Unfortunately, we don't have a machine that you can use to measure mental health illness. It is not like pressure where you're that tying your hand so tightly and is that shoot up 90, 100. That is how someone will know whether you have high blood pressure or low blood pressure. It is not like an HIV test whereby after the test it will either show positive or negative. It is not like a malaria test whereby it will show that you have a parasite in your body. It's not like a typhoid test. It is not like sometimes you can even go through that mental health illness and you're not experiencing any pain on your body. You're actually okay. It is only that you're having also trouble in the sleeping in the night or other different troubles. We don't have that machine of measuring mental health illness. We gauge the mental health illness from our interactions with someone, and also seeing a difference in their behavior. Maybe someone was very neat, very organized in the house. Now this time you're finding them that they're not neat, they're a bit dirty, maybe they're rude. So like it is something that is very multifaceted, and I believe like if everybody who has suffered from mental health illness, because I know we are many, we are there, we are very many. If everybody comes out and shares their different experiences, maybe someone can identify with them, have hope, like try to learn from you how you survived this, and together we can make the world a better place. Over to you.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Juliet. That was very insightful and very detailed. I think I've laughed a lot as you were talking, because some of the stories were, or some of the experiences were a bit uh, funny, but have learned to laugh a lot throughout, because at times we assume that we are the only ones who are facing challenges, but challenges in this time, challenges have become part of life, because uh, there's a trend that is picking up. Most people decide on what to do with their lives. Most people just decide to go for suicide, and they do it even before someone intervenes. And what if we could have talked prior to them doing it, and they have watched it, and now they're in a situation that at least they feel like someone might understand them, and maybe they can reach out to someone who is trying to sensitize people about suicide. What if someone is depressed and they don't know the signs and symptoms of depression? Because lack of sleep is a sign of depression. Either eating a little, just a little, like mm, having 2 spoons, or eating in excess is also a sign of depression. Restlessness. So these are things that we are supposed to watch out for. When you realize you are coming from your normal routine to a different routine and you don't know the triggers, you should be intrigued to find out more what the causes are or what the situation that is causing this is. Because when we go out of our patterns, definitely something is not right. So the topic for today was get up, go. The world owes you nothing. And yeah, I would like us to discuss more. And Juliet was the one who came up with the topic. Though you have given us a lengthy explanation, but we are just coming back to you again, just to tell us why you felt the topic was a very good one, and we also settled for it because it looked good. But now I'm giving you the chance to tell us why you thought it was a very good one. And it was get up, go. The world owes you nothing. So I'll give the mic back to you so that you can give us more insights. And then Judy will also speak about the topic. And after then we'll ask more questions and then we'll go. I think I've received like 2 private messages which we'll answer, and then we'll continue with the flow, because it's just a talk. We're just trying to educate ourselves. And while you talk and Juliet talks, Judy talks, I also learn a lot. And these forums are just educative forums. We learn from each other, we learn from audiences, we learn from anyone who comes on board to speak their mind or write their mind. So, yeah, Juliet, why did you think the topic was a good one?
Uh, can you hear me? Okay. I chose this topic because many times you feel so entitled. So entitled. We feel we people should treat us better. We feel people should take care of us. We feel people everything is people should like ever like had a barrier at your home and you feel like the people who have come are not enough, they would have been like more, and you're like every time someone loses maybe a child, a brother, a sister, I'm there for them. I'm on the road, on the bus. Like you pinpoint and say, you do this. Last time I was there for you. How comes that this particular point in time I've suffered and you've not shown up? So you feel entitled. Even and actually I call it unnecessary entitlement. I think we are okay. For some of us that have siblings, and maybe they're younger than us, and unfortunately in life, we are the ones, maybe the older siblings, so we have studied, we have gotten their jobs. Do you know these younger siblings feel like like all your salary should be for them? As if they're the ones making everything. They'll give you budgets and should they even ever come to know the amount of salary you earn? My God. They want to make a budget for that money. They are going to tell you, okay, the rent we are paying this much, the water we are paying this much, the electricity we are paying this much, the food this much. So all this money that you have, what are you using it for? A sibling, they're not working with you, they're not even supporting you on anything. that sometimes that you need support, maybe from a sibling. Maybe you have your clothes that are not washed, and you have this work of Monday, Sunday to Sunday, even sometimes on Sunday you're being called to work, and you're requesting this sibling, please help me and ensure that my clothes are washed. And it's not even like that you are bullying them. No, you actually don't have time to do this laundry for yourself. Oh God. Yeah, they'll give you a paragraph and you're like, okay, leave it, let me just take my clothes to the dry cleaners. But when the payment comes, and there's a way that everybody knows that payment. For bankers, they will know 25th they have payment. So 26th, you have no excuse of saying that you do not have that money. They'll tell you that, why are we eating badly? I remember at some point I was really okay. I'd shifted my money to some major investment, and I was paying a lot of money for this investment. So it meant that for me in my house, I had to cut down a lot of expenses, like down. So it means that eating meat every other day could no longer happen. You only eat it once in a week, and that is a Sunday. And you're not even eating like meat that it's a full meal. You're eating it one piece, then the rest is beans. So some sibling told me that, Julie, these beans that you keep on getting from that village, why do you feed us badly? It is important that we be healthy. I was like, okay, what is your contribution to this meal on the table? At least you're not going hungry. So you find that everybody is entitled. Your child is entitled. And for schools, they have these tours. Oh, we are going to this place, this place, this place. So you find that they're going to rotate this child the same places. Maybe they went and visited the parliament. They went and visited that zoo. Then the next time the child is coming, mommy, I need money. We want to go to the zoo as a school. Where are you going to the zoo? Like, did you go to the zoo like last time? Like, but mommy, they told us that we should pay that money. So a child is entitled. Then you also have like spouses in their lives who are entitled. They feel like you are a wife, you should be doing this. Hmm? You are a mother, you should be doing this. Everybody is giving you rules and regulations. And like, people, I've not had a booklet of rules and regulations that I should be like this. But everybody is like, where are you going? You're going out. Mm. Don't you have a child? Yes, I have. Other moms also behaving like you. You've just walked in the house and you're now getting out. What time are you taking care of this child? Can you stay back and take care of that child? And if you're the one putting the food on that table, maybe you're going to close a business deal. So everybody feels entitled. And it is worse for people who fall sick. It is not that I'm not pitying them, it's not that I'm not feeling sorry for them. Me, I fell sick for 3 years. Leave alone the sickness of you are taking medicine with hope that you're getting better. For me, it was a different story. But there's a way you feel sick and you feel entitled. You feel like the way you've been sick for those 2 months, your mother should have been in your house to take care of you. Why is she in that village? What is she doing in that village? You should be there in the house taking care of you. And I've seen also some friends of mine who have given birth to children. Now that one here, the entitlement is way beyond. They feel because they have contacts on, like you have their contacts on your phone, so they feel like the fact that they've posted that baby on their status, the next day you should come to their houses with gifts. So if you keep on asking, how is that baby? How is that baby? They keep on asking, when are you visiting us? It is not only about visiting. Actually, they're expecting you to come with gifts. So you're not saying that I'm coming there for a bit, I'm rushing, and like going where? Like the first thing, like they want to see a polythene bag. As in Uganda, I use a lot of polythene bags for everything. So they want to see a polythene bag and a heavy polythene bag of pampers, children's clothes, as if you are the parent of that child, socks, bed sheets, food, what? Everything. There are you not to visit. You're labeled, you're a bad friend, you don't care. Yeah. And you're like, oh God, what is this? So I feel at some point everybody is just so entitled. Maybe you've even gone out like a basic meetup with a friend, Do you know that friend will expect you to pay their bill or food? They've ordered the food on their own will. So the menu will come up. They have not even told you that, oh, Julie, we have come for this eat up, but unfortunately, I don't have money. So I would wish that you pay for my meal. No, they will not even inform you about that. So they'll bring the menu. They'll be the first to order chicken. Do you have fries? I think you add also some beef. Add also some rice. Add also some juice. While they're adding juice, bring ice, bring lemon, bring Coca-Cola, bring Fanta, bring this, bring this, bring. After a while, they bring that bill and they're looking at you like pay, and you're like you are eating all these things expecting me to pay, like we did not have a discussion of it. They are not pay. Ha. Actually nowadays the most important thing is WhatsApp status. And one day I want to meet that man that founded WhatsApp. He did as well. You can easily know someone's state of mind from their statuses. So they will tell you, fake friends. They take you to fancy places on what on status. I mean, what, they have not told you anything. They take you to fancy places and they don't want to pay. God, connect us to better friends, to friends that understand, to friends. So you're like, okay, I was with this person just a moment ago. So I know this everything is about me. They respond or laugh or send an emoji or they'll send you paragraphs and paragraphs on paragraphs. And then there are people who get sick. They're not, you don't even have an idea that they're sick, but they feel you should have an angel around you to tell you that they're sick, and you go and visit them to hospital. So you meet them and say, it has been a while. It has been a year. Oh, I'm so, and you're genuinely happy to meet this person. I tell you, where have you been? I was suffering and you're not there for me. Eh? Imagine, you should have called me, you should have checked on me. And you're like, I did not know anything about what is going on in your life. Like, you should have checked on me. Like, and I ask myself, what is wrong with you getting your phone and calling me that you're not fine? And you're expecting me every time to check on you. Then there are these people who are so entitled. Maybe you've been chatting with them a lot, then unfortunately you have this thing going on in your life, and maybe you've somehow also detached from your phone, so you're not communicating as you are communicating. Let them meet you. So Julie, tell me, which friend do you have? Hmm? Which friends are you chatting with? And I always see you online, but the fact that you will check like my status is to see that I'm online. For you, can't you like send a message? Does the message have to come from me every now and then? If I've told you good morning, tomorrow should I continue with a good morning? What is your problem? If you put there good morning, what will happen? Or will your data be depleted because you're the first person to send a message? So that these ones who have functions, girls of nowadays when they're getting married, they become so different. The only thing they want from you is money. Nothing else. You don't have to comment about anything. You don't have to say anything. So they will not even give you like a thumbs up, like, oh, I'm getting married. Maybe okay, we are now in October, and someone has a marriage in January. This is October, and it's a marriage they're very much aware of because it is their own marriage. So you're all along, you're meeting up with this person, you're laughing with them, you're dining with them, you're meeting in different places, and they're not even telling you about this marriage. So they're quiet, you're telling them about your finances, you're telling them about everything that is going on in your life. You've invited them to your house, they are quiet. Hey, come January, the most difficult month in the economy of this country. Someone is telling you, Julie, I have a surprise for you. Like, what kind of surprise? So you're waiting to hear this surprise. Like, in a week's time, darling, uh, I'm getting married. Like, in a week's time, like, girl, you've been in my life for the past 3 months, and you're just telling me about your marriage. Like, it is in a week's time. Like, for me, like, honestly, okay, I'll say, okay. I'm happy that you're getting married, but I'm not financially contributing to that marriage. I'm that honest because I'm not financially prepared to contribute to this. You know, people have bills to pay. The way you pay your rent, the way you pay your water bills, the way you pay what, even others have. So they're not even sending you like a link to join our WhatsApp group for collections. No, they've added you on that. So you wake up and 200 messages are like, which group am I on? This one's marriage. I'm like, couldn't you have sent me a link? Couldn't you have requested whether I'm going to be on the WhatsApp or not? So every time, like you are the quiet one, they tag you. How much are you giving us? How much are you giving us? How much are you giving us? Like how much actually are you expecting that I give you? There are some people who expect you to give them your whole month's salary because they are getting married, and yet you are this child parent, you are the one taking care of your siblings, you are the one taking care of your parents, you are the one taking, and literally on the lookout of things. Everybody is looking at you as like you're financially stable. Maybe someone has come to your house and they are seeing all these fancy electronics. Let someone come in your house and they see a fridge. They're expecting 200,000 and above for something, and you're like, why is everybody entitled? Why? So like that is why I thought about this topic. Like, girl or boy, get up and go. The world, like everybody, does not owe you anything. Your friends do not owe you contributions. Your friends do not owe you visits to the hospital. Your friends do not owe you like attending burials of your relatives and your siblings. Your friends do not owe you like checking on your child, because you also don't check on their children. They have children. How many times have you visited their children? For you who wants like to be visited every now and then, how many times have you visited those people that you're demanding this from them? You're telling people that, oh, you don't visit me when I fall sick. How many times have you visited me when I've fallen sick? Like it should, and someone does not. I was telling some friend of mine, like someone will just not come there and support you. No, there's a reason someone is supporting you. Either you've done this for them, or you've told them about this. So this is something you've not told someone about, and you're expecting all these things. So I think some of us have unnecessary, I don't know, trauma. You are not supposed to be in that trauma. You are the one who has put yourself in that trauma, because over expecting things from other people can bring for you trauma. For example, maybe your friend has got a rich husband or a rich wife. Why would you expect that rich wife or rich husband to take care of your bills? Like, what is the connection? Is it because they're somehow relating with your friend or what? So I feel like if I know that we have traumas from different spheres of life, but if you could only reduce that bit of entitlement, feeling so entitled, girl or boy, you'll be fine. And you'll not even be experiencing that trauma that you're experiencing. Like that husband of yours that you're expecting to do for you everything. For you, why can't you do everything for yourself? You're expecting the husband to buy for you food. What has happened that has stopped you from buying the food in the house? And you're expecting this person to buy. If we could just reduce our like feeling so much entitled, like expecting things from people that you have not even made them aware of, I think many of us would heal. Like healing. We don't even need to go to counselors. We don't even need Some of us don't even need to go to pastors. Simanya Shay, Simanya Mufuti, what, pray for me, this trouble. Just reduce your entitlement and you'll be okay. Actually, if you don't have expectations of people, for example, for me, if I'm going to meet up someone and I have taken long without meeting them, I have this open mind of I'm not expecting anything from them. So if you don't have any expectations, so you're sieving in anything, literally anything. So whether they treat you bad or well, whether someone will give you a gift, you're not being there and saying, it's a little gift. I expected a much bigger gift from this person. Like, why I expecting is like a very big gift. Maybe somebody has given you 10,000 shillings. Literally, for you expecting 200,000 shillings because you've seen them on the richest men in Uganda list. Why are you expecting that a lot of money? Like, what have you done to deserve that money? Then I've seen also, okay, there are some Pentecostals, especially the Pentecostal pastors, beginning of month and end of month. Oh, they'll preach about sowing, 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 sowing. Sowing will become sowing. And they even approach you, sister, we have this. Can you contribute to this? Like, why expecting that much money from people? They're struggling the way you're also struggling. They're paying bills like the way you're paying bills. Accept the little that someone has given you. I've seen some places, okay, these baby showers. As ladies, you have so many parties. We want to have birthday party. You want to have graduation party, baby shower, simanyi mom's shower, simanyi bride's shower. Someone, I think we have this thing, 2 days to getting married shower, and you're expecting so many gifts. So when you're unwrapping gifts, you begin saying, I cannot imagine that Julie can give me this gift. If it was Vivian, okay, I would have accepted. But Julie, why would she give me such a cheap gift? My God, why are you so entitled? Well, I think we should reduce that bit of entitlement. So that's why I came up with that topic of get up and go, get up, have a life, be your own responsibility. The world owes you nothing. There's no one who owes you anything. The fact that your husband, your wife, your child, your uncle, your aunt, they do not owe you anything. Nothing. Stop expecting all these things from people. Just do your own life. Over to you.
Judy. So, Judy, what was your take on the topic of today? What did you think of it? What did it bring to your mind? And as we we shared the topic before the day. I know you went and researched a bit, and you are ready to talk about it. So, what really came into your mind when you saw the topic? And yeah, how did you perceive it?
Okay. Thank you so much, Vilaine and Julie, for that elaborate explanation. Like you gave us all the details, all the scenarios we can think of. But when I saw that topic, get up and go, the world owes you nothing, I just thought about, like she has been speaking of entitlement. Many times we have expectations that we have created ourselves. We look at someone a certain way and we expect them to do certain things which we are not even certain that they can do. I'll take an example of the people that are always viewed as strong. Nobody ever checks on the strong people because they somehow think that you have it all figured out because maybe you have not shared what you're going through and they have all these expectations on you. I shared earlier that I became a deputy parent right after campus when I got my first job, and it came, I did not prepare for it. I didn't know it. I had an idea that I'll support my siblings, but not the way that I jumped right into it. You know, like how you get phone calls and they're telling you, now your brothers and sisters are going back to school. What should we do about the school fees? You get that kind of question, and yet you're expecting that at least if they called me and they're like, your brothers and sisters are going back to school. Can you support with the requirements? That would sound a little fair, but what are we going to do about the school fees? It's like they've thrown it to you, and you seemingly have no choice out of it, because they see you as the immediate source and the ultimate source. For a very long time, I struggled there, but I realized that I had to get up and go. Like, it is not me that is the savior of the world. Like, it's Jesus who is the savior of the world. I cannot be able to support everyone in my circle and those that ask for help as and when they do. So many times we have created these expectations, and they lead us into a space of anxiety, and then we keep referring to our past traumas, and we've not actually healed from them. Then we are feeling depressed, like you have a mixture of depression, anxiety, and then you end up with mental illness that you should have avoided if you knew or if you asked for support. So mine is to speak to people who, we have different personalities. There are people that are extroverted, and there are those that are introverted that don't speak much. Maybe they speak when necessary, and most times they are drawn towards not even sharing their opinions, because many times they think it doesn't really matter. Now, that is when you are encroaching on your self-esteem. You need to be yourself, realize who you are, who you truly, truly are, without having those external validations. If the external validations are an additional advantage, but even if 1,000 people came and gave me all these beautiful things about me, all these rosy things about me, for as long as I do not believe I am that kind of person, I will never be that person. So it all starts from within. When I saw that topic, it was really a very deep topic that needs to be discussed, like, more often. And many times we expect that the extroverted people don't actually go through mental health issues because they are outspoken, they are doing all these things. But everyone is subjected to mental health, for as long as you don't give your health a priority, for as long as you don't do the self-care and self-awareness. I am just so passionate about self-awareness, because it's okay for you to be introverted. It is very okay, because God created us uniquely. But what are you doing different that is going to move you from that place where you feel suffocated? You can be in a workspace and you have these brilliant ideas, but you feel like you're not worthy of speaking in a group of people. Who tells you you're not worthy? Like, why are you creating that kind of mindset in your mind to limit you from being the person who you're meant to be? So me, I've really struggled to move from that, and I'm glad that now I can speak up. I've understood that communication is not actually about being loud. It's not about shouting on top of your voice. Communication is about you being assertive, sharing information that can support or add value to another person. So you don't really have to shout if you're not the person that speaks on top of your voice. It's okay. Speak with your soft voice. There's a reason God gave you that soft voice. Maybe you become a counselor like I turned out to be, to just soothe someone who is going through a phase of mental health illness or mental health crisis, and it is that voice that will calm them down, that will show them direction. So many times, my issue is that we actually, it all starts with us. We create these ideas in our heads, and then when the external validation comes through, good or bad, we buy into it quickly, and we start living a life that is not really the life that we want to live, but because we want to please society. I remember Julie was speaking of people who, like, you want to please the boss so that you have favors. Like, who told you if you please them, you will have favors? What if they are just using you to their benefit to have that work done? It is not guaranteed that when you do all this work that they are throwing on you, you'll have the promotion. Sometimes the promotions, actually most of the times, come because of your merit, because of the value that you add. And surely if you're walking your life in self-awareness and interesting yourself to attend programs such as these, to just understand how can I be a better version of myself, you will get up and go and not mind what anyone else thinks about you, but what you think about yourself and what who God created you to be. That's my contribution to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Uh, Thank you very much. And yeah, I hope that we can now handle the questions that uh, that were sent privately to the email address that we always use as a official email address. Our email address that we use for anything official is Laford Teletherapy Counselors at gmail.com. So any inquiries, any complaints, any input, you can feel free to send to that number. And then we always have another number. Uh, we always have a WhatsApp number that we always share. You can even check, you will see it somewhere. And then one thing now we have to talk about is the questions. And someone raised an issue. I saw Juliet was planning to, I think she talked about it the other time, or she was planning to talk to about it soon on a Zoom platform. She mentioned something about suicide, and I've seen that question again here. Someone is asking on how they can deal with the suicidal thoughts, and we can skip that because I've seen maybe she has logged out, or the system has logged her out. Then the second question I can share with you, Judy. Someone just asked, how do you realize it's time to cut off other people from your life? And how do you deal with people that are not giving positive input in your life? How do you cut them off and how do you deal with them? Just to make sure your mental health is protected. So at some point you have to cut them off or you have to deal with them in different ways.
Thank you so much, Vilaine. That's a very brilliant question. For some reason, I think I expected it because many times we struggle to create boundaries, like creating healthy boundaries around you to make sure that your mental health is in a good state. How do you cut off these people? First of all, you may not even have to cut them off. The problem might be you. So, like I shared, it is important to do the self awareness. These days, there's a lot of material on self awareness. Like, if you wanted to know anything in detail, all these social media platforms have these, and you can pick out that resonates with you. So, how do you build your self-awareness? Start with understanding who are you, like who are you without anyone else's opinion about you. Who are you? Like when you are alone by yourself, who are you? Are you happy with the person you are becoming? Are you happy with the person that you have been previously? That is where the starting point is, because you may want to cut off these people when the problem is actually you and not them. So I love to speak about attitude. attitude, like we all know, is contagious. If you're having happy people around you, chances are high that you will be happy because you'll tap into their energy of happiness. But if you're having sad and weird people around you, chances are high you will dive into that kind of attitude. I think we've also seen it in school spaces where you've taught your child at home, you have family values, you expect this child to behave a certain way because you've really put in your time and energy to raise them right. But then they go to school and they are influenced by this group of people that believe something different. And as children or as human beings, we are always inquisitive. Like, we want to know, we want to venture and just find out what is this different thing, like what is this unique thing. So many times it starts from within. But if you have done your self assessment and clearly you know that the problem is not you but the people around you, you can create the healthy boundaries. How? If you have been in a space of those people, maybe it is a workspace and you can't really cut them off because you'll meet at lunch break, you'll meet in meetings. You can just tone down your communication with them and give yourself that space. Communication is what actually binds us together. If you've not spoken to someone for a very long time, chances are high that you'll not have a connecting point, because you'll start referring to the last story that maybe you had shared, or a moment that you had shared, and then start coming back slowly to the future where you're now meeting. So it's very important for us to know that we are okay, because if you're not okay, chances are high you're the one who is radiating that negative energy to the people around you, and then you're not even recognizing it and thinking that these people are the bad ones. So when you realize that you have done your part and you are good, then you can distance yourself from those people. You don't have to cut them off completely, because we all need each other. And you do not know the reason that person is reacting the way that they are reacting. Probably for you, if you were negative and you change your attitude to be positive by consuming positive information, watching podcasts, and just diving into faith. Faith plays a very big role in giving us that positivity. So if you do that and you start radiating positivity, it is very likely that the negative people around you, you will not even need to cut them off. They will start feeling into the energy that you have around you. Sometimes you sit in a space, you have not said a word, but someone can tap into that energy and the atmosphere that is around you. Sometimes you don't have to even talk. When you're negative, your face is going to be frowned. They will see you. You can't even afford to greet a neighbor. You're not smiling. They will not. They will not also want to be around you the same way you don't want to be around them. So I think it's more of a personal venture that you have to really find out who you are. And if you're comfortable with who you are, then you can distance yourself a little bit as you try to navigate how to even become a better person and help those that you feel you need to cut off. Thank you, Villain. That's my submission to you.
Welcome, Judy. Welcome. So, Juliet, someone was asking from the private messages, how do you overcome suicidal thoughts? And make it brief because we are winding up.
Okay, thank you for the question. You can overcome suicidal thoughts in so many ways. First of all, you need to journal, have a habit of journaling down your own personal experiences. Journaling, I mean, get a book and just write. and say, okay, today I'm feeling happy. I've talked to Judith. I'm not feeling happy because Velen has not picked my call. I'm not feeling happy because this. It is very important for us to understand our triggers. After a while, like after 3 days, if you go back to this book, you find that it is literally the same things that are triggering you. Then also note down your behaviors, like list down what did you used to do and you loved so much. You list them. I love traveling. I like talking to people. I liked meeting new friends. I like doing what. Then counteract with what have you lost interest in. Maybe you've lost interest in talking to people. Maybe you no longer rise up early. You are a person who used to get up at 6 a.m. in the morning because it does not shake you. You go to work at 11. So that is a bit of like losing interest in like in people. Then I am the kind of person who uh, okay, suicide, someone will just not come and commit suicide. They have had these ideas. How you have also access, how are you feeling about yourself currently? Do you love yourself the way you are? In most cases, if you're feeling suicidal, you're not loving yourself at all. You're judging yourself so much. Maybe you're feeling like this space that I'm in, I'm not supposed to be in this space. Maybe I'm supposed to be like up here. Then look at your eating habits. There's this eating where you're eating like small food because you don't have money. But there's this eating of small food. You have the money, but you fail to eat. Look at like in the past, what were the portions of food that you used to eat? Then also, if you have children, actually, I love the children because they can give you honest opinion. They can tell you like, "Mommy, you've changed. Sister, you've changed." Especially if they're younger, they're giving you this honest opinion because they are seeing a change in your behavior. Then, how about you in the workplaces? Are people complaining about your change in behavior? Is your boss telling you that you used to give me this work like in minutes, now you take hours? What is wrong with you? Have you had such comments from people? That's when you know like you're moving towards the suicidal like attempts. The first thing that you have to do is one, speak up. If you don't speak up, no one is going to come and help you because they have no idea of what is going on in your life. They will see you smile, they see you post, they'll see you contributing money for functions, they will see you this. For me, when I had those suicidal attempts, there's no one, even a security guard at my workplace knew that I had suicidal attempts, so that you can get as much support as possible. Because now, those times that you attempted to commit suicide, like people are on the watch out for you. I used to go to those parties, like those parties on the rooftops. And because if someone knows that you have had suicidal attempts before, they're actually together with you. They're not letting you go. Even if you go to the toilet, they're following you up. Even if you're going to this place, that like checking on you, because the Bible tells us that make your needs known for you to be helped. There's even that Bible verse of ask and ye shall be given. It is not that God does not know what you need. He knows, but you need to ask. You need to make it intentional, ask out for that help. Then the second thing, get into the spaces of strangers. I love strangers so much, especially if I'm going through a very hard situation in my life, because these people, they do not know you. They do not know the life that you're living before. They do not know even the changes that you're experiencing in your life currently. So if you meet someone maybe in a mat, in a taxi, or a border man that you're taking a ride with, you tell them, huh, maybe this economy is so hard. Imagine last night I did not eat food. That conversation from the stranger is going to help you out. Have a conversation with, just meet someone and just tell them, even if you're not telling them that it's me like going through, you can make it hypothetical and say, Judith is going through this. So how can I support Judith? And yet Judith in this context is you. So the next thing, also be intentional. You see, there's that bit of me calling and telling you that, you see, Valen, you need to get out of that bed and go and bathe. This is a phone call. This is me advising you. But if you do not take this advice serious, you will not. You stay in that bed. You will not go and take that shower. I'm calling you and say, Valen, you eat food. Even if you do not feel like eating, force yourself, put that food in your mouth. But until you get that food and put it in your mouth, nothing will work. So you find that, especially if you're calling out for, you have called out for help, so many people are going to come into your space. Others will also keep on recommending it to others. Like, I know of this person who suffered from that situation. Maybe they can help you. I can talk to you for hours, my dear. But until you take a step to now remove this from just advice and you're making it like actions, no one will be able to support you. There's me telling you that, based on your experience, my dear, I'm thinking that you should go to a counselor. I've even given you the name of the counselor, even the telephone contact of a counselor. I've even sent you airtime. I've told you call the counselor. But if you do not call the counselor, you will not get help. But we have reached out, we have tried to support you. Okay, maybe I've told that now you need to get out of that house. You need to get in contact with nature. Maybe walk around your neighborhood until you get out of that door. Through that door and you walk in the neighborhood, it will not work for you. So you have a lot of support for so many people. Even others will keep on calling you randomly to check on you. But until you intentionally say, Julie advised me to do this. Julie told me, even if I'm not feeling sleepy, let me go to bed at 9 and just cover myself, even if I'm awake. Julie told me to keep away from my phone and only get my phone at 8 a.m. in the morning and only use my phone for 1 hour. Then put the phone away until you make it actionable. Even if I talk with you like forever, we load airtime, we talk, we charge phone and talk, nothing will happen. So you have to be intentional about yourself. You have to take ownership of your own recovery and know that this phase in life that you're experiencing, it is teaching you something. Those bad experiences teach you a lot, and you're like, God, okay, what am I learning from this? Ever like suffered anger, like you're hungry, you're working basically, but you cannot afford food on that table? Me, I have. It taught me how to keep my finances in check and say I have to live by this diet. I don't have like to go overboard. So what is that experience like teaching you? But also you have also to notice that triggers. Most times you can ask someone that, now that you're having those suicidal attempts, what do you think is creating those suicidal attempts? Most times they lie you and they tell you, I don't know. I don't know, but I just feel like this. I just feel like this. But girl or boy, you know. You know, because as you're seated there for long hours, you're thinking about someone who hurt you and you are saying that, God, if that power of life was in my hands, I would show this person. So it's now also better for you to be as open as possible. Don't hide information from people. Don't say, I just woke up and I was like that. Really? You woke up and you're like that? Like what happened? Someone is even trying to ensure that you see, but you say nothing. Girl, nothing. Like, you mean you and your husband, you're okay? Yes, we are okay. You and your boyfriend, you're okay? Yes, you're okay. But if you'd come out and say, do you know that my boyfriend beats me? Someone would now know how to help you better. So open up and now speak the truth because you want help. Then if someone is helping you, because not every day that people help you, people are so busy, they have so many emails that have not responded to. So many attachments, those emails. So if someone has decided to now come and help you, respect the fact that actually this person is giving a portion of their time to me and just do. For me, there are so many times I did not want to eat food. I did not want to eat anything. Even the smell of food in my house was sickening. I had to chase away people from my house. I said, no cooking. But until I made it intentional, like I'm going to eat even if I don't want to. Most of the time our minds lie us. We have over 5,000 thoughts in our minds. Because right now, as you're listening to me, you have thoughts in your mind. Maybe you're seeing time has gone or something, or I have to pick that, or this, or this. So those thoughts are running in your mind. But I need you to observe your thoughts. Most of those thoughts are satanic. Satan is telling you, like, you stay in bed, because there's a Bible verse that says that slumber and slumber
A
in
little
the bed.
slumber, a little sleep, a little folding of the hand
A
to
little
sleep.
sleep, a little slumber, and poverty will set in
That's
full
right.
gear. So these are the scriptures that are happening to you. It is scriptural. God ordained it that way, that a little sleep, a little slumber, poverty. Now you're wondering where the poverty is coming from. I need you to get out of that bed, even if you don't want to. Because even the people who wake up at 5, they actually don't want, they are struggling. So they try so much to get this sleep out of their faces, going to take cold showers, doing some exercise. They're trying to overcome sleep. It's not that for them, it is just natural that they're just waking up. They like waking up. It is not that it's natural that people are eating vegetables and eating what, and yet it is not, because sometimes you're taking in food that is not even sweet, but you're just taking it because it is for the good of your body. People, we are still on this earth, so eat food. It is only heavenly beings that are not eating food. If God had to provide food like through like manna to the Israelites, because he knew how important food is. So if someone is telling you eat food, however much the food is tasting badly, just do yourself a favor. Eat it. Even if you're vomiting, I'm very sure you're not going to vomit all that food.
Exactly.
Even if like you're going to get stomach upset, it is not going to last forever. Take
Juliet,
charge
give
of
us a
your
parting
life.
shot. Give us a parting shot, or anyone who you want to shout out to as we wrap up.
Okay, like okay. Anyway, it took me unawares, but I want to tell us that everything that happens to us, we have to take 100% responsibility of our
Mhm.
lives. We have to be intentional about the actions in our lives. We have to observe everything that is happening in our lives. Observe the thoughts that you have in that night that you're not sleeping. Observe the thoughts that you have when you've met up someone that you don't like. Observe them, seek out for help. And if someone has advised you, be intentional and do as advised. There's this bit of fearing to do something like it will not work, but first try it, and then you will know whether it is going to work or not. Try out, and don't fear failure, because from our failures is where we get successes. Here today we are here because we have experienced mental health illness. We have been there, and we are saying we are proud survivors. It is not that you are not understanding. We do understand. We have been there for 3 years, lost to hope, trying to commit suicide, but God is saying, "No, we are here." So take charge of your life. That's it.
Judy, give us the parting shot and maybe a shout out to whomever you want to give a shout out to.
Okay. Thank you so much, Vilen. I see you're really happy. This has been quite an interactive one. So my parting shots are: you are who you choose to be. Like whatever you tell yourself will manifest in your actions. Not even like Julie had shared, not even the pastor will help you. If you can't help yourself, it all starts with you before you even seek out the help. Like, have you introspected what is it that I am not doing right? I love that she mentioned journaling. That is something that really, really helps with your thought processes. And yes, it is it is all about us. Like the topic, just get up and go. No one really, really cares. If you want to know that nobody cares about you, just call someone right now and tell them that you're in a fix. You will see. They will create excuses. Everyone will be busy. If they are not busy, they have just used the money now when you called to pay something. So be there for yourself even before you start being there for others in form of people pleasing. Like for you, who is pleasing you, start with pleasing yourself, then it will just come naturally to support others as well. That's my parting shot. And let's keep a positive attitude. Life life happens. Like, the failures are there to give us direction, because if we don't fail, we shall stay stagnated. But if you fail, you want to know, what could I have done better to be a better person, or to do this better? So the failure is just a foundation for us to find a direction and footing to be better versions of ourselves. And who can I shout out to? I have a number of them. As usual, I love to shout out to my mentor, Coach Betty Ojeo, and the husband, Mr. Rubanga, and my friends that have been there in those seasons of mental crisis. There are about four of them: Julie Kemigisa, Achako Jocelyn, Aida Natuhuera, and Lona Kaitesi. Like, those people supported me, and they still do to date. They really care beyond just a friendship. So we need such a community of positive people around us to keep us on track and always checking to tell you, no, this direction you're taking seems to be a wrong one. So yes, those are the people I would love to shout out to. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Judy. Juliet, you didn't give a shout out. You didn't mention any name.
The names are quite many. Shout out to you, Judith. Shout out to you, Zalaine, Sada, Laura, all our friends that I love so dearly.
And the mental health team, and anyone else that has been part of the journey. As we start this week, we have a mission, and we decided to do a mental health awareness summit week. So there'll be different people coming to speak about mental health. And then I think we will have a mental health boot camp that will be offering anyone who needs mental health uh, solutions or uh, counseling services for free at the end of the sessions. I think as November begins, that will be our mission for November, just to help anyone for free. It's a pro bono service for anyone who needs counseling, basically online counseling or mental health services. So stay warm, stay cool, and see you next time as we will be discussing different things. My shout out goes to the partners who came on board: Lights Affordable, LaFord TC Network, Panats Technology, uh, Mom's Cover, and the 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 company that Juliet runs on the side, that is, I think, is Ideation Jungle. So till next time, as we say goodbye, see you, and may God keep you. May you have a good time.
See
Bye.